Thank you so much for joining us live on Track Pass and here on NBCSN as we get set for this afternoon's Napa Ineos 125 from Kern County Raceway Park. My name is Charlie Krall. Engines coming to life. 16 ARCA Menards Series West drivers ready to rock and roll for 125 quick laps around this high-banked half-mile racetrack. Appreciate you hanging out with us here this afternoon. Race number 2 of a weekend doubleheader for the ARCA Menards Series West. We opened up the weekend's action Friday evening up the road at All-American Speedway. What a night that was. Gio Scelzi picking up career win number 1. We're going to put a period on it here this weekend with another 125-lap sprint race. Round number 10 of the 2020 ARCA Menards West season. Beautiful day for racing here on the outskirts of Bakersfield, California. Right next, I-5. Just across town from where the famed Mesa Marin Raceway was. NASCAR stars like Kevin Harvick got their start as the field now rolls off pit road. We'll double them up for the pace laps here as we lead into this afternoon's Napa Auto Parts 125. Why don't we go ahead and take a quick look at the race analysis. Again, race number 10 of the 11 that make up the 2020 ARCA Menards West season, the 11th series race here at Kern County Raceway. This afternoon's Napa Auto Parts 125 presented by the West Coast Stock Car Hall of Fame. It's going to be 125 laps, 62.5 miles. Turns banked 14 degrees. Straightaways banked at 8 degrees. Here you see the banking on the back straightaway. No brakes. We're going to go 125 laps straight through. No tire changes. No scheduled pit stops. No tire changes. Any tire changing will need to be approved by ARCA officials. If you do change a tire without that approval, you're going to get a penalty, and that will take you out of any chance you have to win here this afternoon. So, going to finish the race on the 4 general tires that they start with. Why don't we go ahead and take a look at our Bounty Rookie Spotlight here this afternoon. We mentioned this young driver earlier, Gio Scelzi. He picked up his first win at All-American Speedway Friday night. Gio driving the famed number 16 Napa Auto Parts Toyota. Driven for the last couple of years by Derek Kraus, the 2019 champion. And oh, by the way, 4-time winner right here at Kern County Raceway. And that number 16 team, when you look back in their history with driver Todd Gilliland behind the wheel, has won 6 consecutive times here at Kern County Raceway Park. So Gio Scelzi has a little bit of pressure on his shoulders here this afternoon. Jesse Love leads the Bounty Rookie standings, 375 points. Gracie Trotter, Gio Scelzi, Holly Holland, Bridget Burgess, and Jack Wood round out the top 5. Let's take a look at our General Tire Pole Award. Jesse Love picked up the pole in qualifying earlier this afternoon in the number 19 Napa Premium Power Plus Toyota. 4th pole of the season. We'll go ahead and take a look at that General Tire starting lineup. Jesse Love and Taylor Gray up on row number 1. Mason Diaz, Jack Wood back in row number 2. Ryan Repko, Gracie Trotter back in row number 3. Gio Scelzi and Trevor Huddleston back in row number 4. Holly Holland, there you see Holly. She's going to start alongside Blaine Perkins back in row number 5. Kyle Keller and Joey East back in row number 6. Todd Souza, who finished 2nd at All-American on Friday night. He will start alongside Takuma Koga back in row number 4, back in row number 7. And Bridget Burgess and Bobby Hillis Jr. round out the 16-car starting field here at Kern County. Jesse Love picking up his 4th General Tire Pole Award here in 2020. Other drivers who have picked up a General Tire Pole Award here in the ARCA Menards West throughout the course of the season include Blaine Perkins, who picked up a trio of them as well. Sam Mayer, Gio Scelzi, and Taylor Gray won the pole Friday night. He will start alongside Jesse Love up on the front row. Lights are off on the pace truck. We're going to come to a green flag and set sail for 125 laps. Here on one of the most beautiful, state-of-the-art short tracks all across this wonderful country of ours. Kern County Raceway Park. Built back in 2013, pace truck. Makes it down to the infield. Jesse Love and Taylor Gray bringing the field to the green flag. It is time to rock, roll, and rumble. Green flag is in the air. We are underway at Kern County. Oh, we've got some trouble right on the start. Jack Wood gets a nudge down in turns 1 and 2, and he's going to slide sideways. Stacking up the field. And that's going to put us under the caution flag for the first time here this afternoon. Jack Wood getting a nudge in traffic right on the initial start. Everybody doing a great job as the entire field stacked up behind him down in turns 1 and 2. Let's take a look at what happened down there. It looks like Ryan Repko in the number 20. There you see Ryan. Looks like that car picked up a huge push down into turn 1 and drifted up the racetrack. Nowhere to go. Jack Wood on the outside. Nice 90-degree slide through the turns over there. And thankfully, Gracie Trotter doing a nice job. Trevor Huddleston on the binders as well in that number 6 car. Huddleston doing a good job to miss Jack Wood. There you see a little tire mark there right behind that left rear tire. Thankfully, doesn't look like there's any body panels rubbing that left rear. And Jack Wood going to rejoin the tail of the field. And we will try this one more time. Kind of a halting start here in the Napa Ineos 125 presented by the West Coast Stock Car Hall of Fame. Talked about that race at All-American on Friday night. Taylor Gray dominant throughout most of the night. He and Gio Scelzi got into it a little bit coming to the white flag. Taylor had a left rear tire cut down and went for a wild spin. Dropped back to 7th at the finish, but again rebounded with a great run in qualifying. It was kind of a tough night until that point for Jesse Love. Jesse has spent much of the night outside the top 5, but everything that happened in the final 20 laps of that one, Jesse was able to rebound and finish in 4th and actually picked up a point on Blaine Perkins in the battle for the ARCA Menards Series Championship. Jesse picked up a point in general tire pole qualifying, already picked up a point for leading a lap here as the field bunched up behind the pace truck. We will try this one more time. See if we can get some green flag laps here. Jesse Love, Taylor Gray alongside in row 1. The Venturini Motorsports teammates. Mason Diaz. Ryan Repko back in row 2. Green flag back out. And again on the break, Jesse Love leading the field down into turns 1 and 2. Mason Diaz looking a little racy down to the inside. Side-by-side battle for the lead. Diaz going to poke the nose of that number 25 car out front. Give Diaz the lead here at the stripe. Jesse Love hanging tough on the outside of the racetrack. He's going to use that momentum of the top side. That 14 degrees of banking. He's going to power back to the lead. Now the field going to string out single foul down the backstretch as we see Holly Holland sliding sideways. You saw Holly top of the screen, sideways off of turn 2. And the caution going to come out for the second time within the first 10 laps here at Kern County. Also see Ryan Repko coming to a stop at the top of turns 3 and 4. So all kinds of problems here getting this one underway. Second caution flag of the night. Let's take a look at that action over there in turn 2. Looked like Ryan Repko rolled out of the gas, and then there was that 3-wide battle behind him, and they all just kind of ran out of space. And Holly coming up on the short end of the stick with that one. Kind of bounced off of Todd Souza right there. Of course, Holly Holland and Todd Souza involved in a lap 3 incident on All-American the other night. Holly had an adventurous night at All-American. She got spun, and on, as I was saying, early in the race, lap 3, and then the stack up behind her, Takuma Koga just about joined Todd Souza in the cockpit. Souza was able to make some repairs and come off with his best finish since 2008. Coming home second place on Friday night. A lot of momentum for that family-owned team. Good to see. So working lap 11 here at Kern County Raceway. Second caution flag of the afternoon. Spin over in turn 2 involving Holly Holland. There you see Ryan Repko. Ryan had some sort of mechanical problem on that number 20. He had rolled out of the gas just before Holly got turned sideways there. He came to a stop over in turns 3 and 4. Bringing that car down to the attention of that Venerini Motorsports crew. And it looks like we're to get the one to go signal here at the stripe. Jesse Love looks like he's going to elect to restart from the top side of the racetrack here on this restart. Mason Diaz will restart from the bottom side of the racetrack. Taylor Gray, Gracie Trotter back in row number 2. Blaine Perkins, Gio Selzy back in row 3. Trevor Huddleston and Todd Souza back in row 4. And Joey East he will start to the inside of row 5. It looks like that is Takuma Koga alongside. They will round out the top 10 as we come to the green flag for the third time already here this afternoon. Let's see if we get some green flag laps under our belts here this afternoon. Again, Jesse Love leading the field to the restart zone. Green flag back in the air. And on the charge down into turns 1 and 2. Again, side-by-side battle for the lead. Let's see if Diaz can use the bottom side of the racetrack this time. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. Jesse Love going to slam the door shut and take the lead over Mason Diaz back in second. Taylor Gray to the inside of Gracie Trotter as they battle side-by-side for third. There you see the battle for fifth as well. Blaine Perkins to the inside of Friday night's winner, Gio Selzy. Selzy looking to continue that win streak for the number 16 Bill McAnally Racing team here at Kern County. Trotter going to use the top side of the racetrack to take over that third position. Taylor Gray digging hard down on the bottom side of the racetrack. He doesn't want to give it up without a fight. Hanging tough, side-by-side battle for third. Gracie Trotter making history last month at the Bull Ring at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, becoming the second female driver to win here in the West Series, and the first female to do it as a part of the ARCA Menards Series. Of course, Haley Deegan picking up a trio of wins back in 2018 and 2019. That was under the NASCAR K&N Pro Series banner as we got the caution flag out for the third time here this afternoon. Again, looks like more problems for Ryan Repko as he has come to a stop. Again, the top side of the racetrack, right front tire down on that automobile. So a tough start to the afternoon for Ryan Repko. Young man who's tried to make the most of his opportunities with the Venerini Motorsports team throughout the ARCA Menards Series platform here in 2020. Has finished second a couple of times in the ARCA Menards Series at Talladega Super Speedway and again at Kansas Speedway. Had an opening on his schedule, and they filled it with a start here in the ARCA Menards West. Good to see Ryan with us here this afternoon, but again, a tough start to the day. Second time that car has come to a stop within the first 20 laps, so apparently a problem with the right front suspension and is leading to some flat tires on that number 20 car. Bring it down pit road. See a little damage to the right front corner of that automobile as well, so he may have had some contact on the racetrack that has caused these tire issues. And it looks like Ryan going to take that car behind the wall. Whatever it is underneath that automobile, going to need a little more attention than just a fresh right front tire. So a tough break for Ryan Repko. Looks like it should be an early end to his afternoon in that number 20 car. One to go signal given here at start finish. Again, Jesse Love will elect to restart from the top side of the racetrack. Mason Diaz to the bottom side. Taylor Gray, Gracie Trotter back in row 2. Blaine Perkins, Gio Selzy back in row 3. Todd Souza and Trevor Huddleston back in row 4. Joey East and Jack Wood. Jack has made his return back into the top 10 after getting turned sideways on the initial start. Let's see what happens here on this restart. Field now back into the restart zone. Green flag back in the air. And again, Jesse Love with the jump down into turn 1. Gracie Trotter now going to try to use the high side of the racetrack to take over that second spot. Can she get some traction up? Down in turns 1 and 2. Looks like she's going to fall back into that third position as she's got her hands full with Taylor Gray now looking to the inside. Trotter rolling the top side of the racetrack very well, but Taylor Gray finding some traction to the bottom side of the racetrack. Good side-by-side battle race for third. Taylor Gray, another young man that has made starts all across the ARCA Menards Series platform here in 2020. Made his debut after turning 15 at Toledo Speedway back in the month of June. He's made 18 starts all across the ARCA Menards Series, ARCA Menards East and West. 16 top 10 finishes for this young man. Very impressive debut season for Taylor Gray as he continues to work to the bottom side of Gracie Trotter. Gio Selzy, there we see our Friday night winner dropping back to the field here in the early going. I don't know if there's a problem with that number 16 Napa Auto Parts Toyota. Selzy had been as high as 6th earlier, now dropping all the way back into the 9th position. Looks like Taylor Gray has taken over that 3rd spot, free and clear over Gracie Trotter. Todd Souza nearly collecting the outside wall there off at turn 2. Souza having a good run all the way up to 6th after starting deep in the field here this afternoon. Todd looking to collect his 2nd consecutive top 5 after coming home 2nd place up at All-American Speedway on Friday night. A lot of momentum for that Michael Munoz-led crew. Todd closing in on Blaine Perkins in a battle for that 5th position. Gracie Trotter holding on to the 4th position. Blaine Perkins back in 5th. Todd Souza sitting in 6th. Perkins needs a good run here today. Lost a couple of spots A couple of points here already to Jesse Love in the battle for that ARCA Menards Series West Championship. 17 points was the advantage coming into this afternoon's action. Love's already collected a point for the General Tire Pole Award, also picked up a point for leading a lap here. So right now the lead stands at 19 points with just one more race after this afternoon's event here at Kern County Raceway. So Blaine Perkins really needs to have a good run this afternoon, and he's going to need a little luck as we see a battle for the lead. Mason Diaz retaking the top spot. Diaz back to the lead for the second time here this afternoon. Last time he only held it for a lap. Let's see what he can do here, as he's going to jump out front. Diaz started outside the front row at All-American Speedway, had a good run, ran in the top 5 all night long. Then late in the race on a late race restart, got tagged going into turn 3 and ended up finishing back in the field. Been that kind of season for Mason Diaz, full-time competitor on the ARCA Menards Series East. A couple of early season DNFs took him out of the battle for the championship. Had a good, solid third-place finish, though, at the Monster Mile, so he knows he can do it. Good run here will give him a lot of confidence heading into the 2021 season. There you see Jack Wood continuing to race through the field, all the way up to the 7th position. Made his way past Trevor Huddleston. Remember, Wood started all the way up in the 4th position, but got turned. Turn 1, lap 1. Had to drop to the tail of the field. Jack Wood recovering and making his way back up to the pack. There you see Trevor Huddleston in the number 6 Sunrise Ford for Bob Ducati. And some problems there for Bridget Burgess in the number 88 car. Bridget down on pit road. Got a good season for Bridget and her mom, Sarah. Sarah's a car owner and the crew chief, that family-owned team coming to us from the great state of Utah each and every week here at the ARCA Menards Series West. See a pass for the 4th position. Move Blaine Perkins up to 4th. As he moves to the inside of Gracie Trotter. Now Trotter is going to have to battle Todd Souza there. The battle for 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. All nose to tail there. Gracie Trotter sliding back through the field here. Souza able to keep that car just a little bit lower through the corners. Trotter's car drifting up a few feet off the bottom side of the racetrack. Ooh, Jack Wood with a handful of steering wheel right there as they work their way through turns 3 and 4. Big sweeping half mile. Those of us who had the good fortune of attending races out at Mesa Marin Speedway just across town. Very familiar look. Collins family staking their claim here at Kern County Raceway Park, just across town from where they established themselves. 45 times the West Series raced over at Mesa Marin. This is the 11th West Series race here at Kern County Raceway Park. Of course, Derek Krause. 4 consecutive wins in the number 16 car for Bill McAnally racing that team. You can include Todd Gilliland's 2 wins in that automobile, 6 consecutive wins. Right now, Gio Scelzi in that automobile back in the 9th position, just behind this battle between Todd Souza, Jack Wood, and Trevor Huddleston. Trotter looks like she's got a little bit more comfort in that automobile as she has stretched out an advantage over this battle for 7th, 8th, 6th, 7th, and 8th on your screen. This is the same car that Todd Souza drove on Friday night up at All-American Speedway. Of course, we talked about that incident early in the race. He got on the binders and Takuma Koga just about joined him in the cockpit, ran over the left rear tire, ripped off the left rear quarter panel of that automobile, and just about put that left front, or excuse me, the right front tire into the cockpit there with Todd. And Michael Munoz and the crew spent a couple of days getting that car back together, put a brand new left rear quarter panel, part of the 5-star flange fit body on that car. They just replaced the body panel and the crush panels. Got her decal back up and back on the racetrack. Todd Souza having a great run here in the early going, holding on to that 6th position with Jack Wood. Trevor Huddleston right behind. Quickly ticking the laps off here at Kern County Raceway after a halting start. 3 cautions in the first 20 laps. Now closing in on the 50-lap mark here in the Napa Ineos 125. See a good battle between Jack Wood and Trevor Huddleston. Huddleston trying to look to the inside off of turn 4. Huddleston, a veteran campaigner here out on the West Coast in the late model wars. 3-time track champion down in suburban Los Angeles at Irwindale Speedway. Track that his family manages and operates. Also got a lot of experience up here at Kern County Raceway as well. Here we see battle for second brewing. Taylor Gray has made his way past Jesse Love, and he's tracked down Mason Diaz up at the front of the field. Gray now just 1 car length back of Mason Diaz. Diaz keeping that car to the middle groove of the racetrack, as now we see a battle for 6th. Good racing all around Kern County Raceway Park. Jack Wood down to the inside of Todd Souza. Wood on the move after getting spun out on lap number 1 here this afternoon. Right there on the initial start. Now we go back to the lead. Taylor Gray trying to use the old chrome horn there. Pedals all around the racetrack. We can't watch them all, folks. Now Huddleston trying to work his way underneath of Todd Souza. He's going to fall back in line. Souza holding on to that 7th spot. Now we go back up to the lead. Taylor Gray still putting all kinds of pressure on Mason Diaz here at the front of the field. Working lap 54. We see Gray now to the inside, side by side, off into turn 3. Diaz going to roll out of the throttle and allow Taylor Gray to jump out to the front. First time here this afternoon, Taylor Gray going to jump to the lead. Taylor led 117 laps of the 125 that we ran at All-American Speedway on Friday night. Let's take a look at that pass in replay. Right there. Maybe using the chrome horn just a little bit. Letting Mason know, hey, buddy, I'm a little bit quicker here. And want to find my way back up to the front of the field again. Led 117 laps. Drove it in a little hard. Coming to the white flag, and that opened the door for Gio Scelzi. Ooh, Taylor with a nice evasive move there on Takuma Koga. Couldn't quite get the read on where Takuma was going to go. And wow, a little bit of damage to the right front corner. So a little contact there as he tried to make that evasive move. We saw some debris come off of that car, actually down into turn 1, and that's going to put us under the caution flag for the 4th time here today. Let's take a look at what happened down there. Right there, little contact. Left front corner of that number 17 car to the right rear corner of the 77, and there you see the result. Damage to the nose of our leader. And there's the debris that came off one of those 2 automobiles that has put us under the caution flag for the 4th time here today. There's a good look at that crumpled left front fender on Taylor Gray's number 17. And while we do have Taylor on screen, we do want to give our condolences to the DGR Crosley racing team, racing in memory of their fallen compadre, David Keith. David, a longtime team member with the DGR Crosley racing team. And of course, a lot of you fans who have followed ARCA racing over the years will remember David as a winner down at Daytona and Talladega, driving for the Sadler brothers back in the mid-1990s. David passing away earlier in the week. Our condolences go to not only the DGR Crosley team, but the David Keith family and his friends as well. Thinking about all of you here as we race out here on the West Coast, Kern County Raceway. There you see Takuma Koga with the damage to the right rear corner of that automobile. Takuma Koga joining us each and every week here in the ARCA Menards Series West from Nagoya, Japan. Probably gets the long commute award each and every week. There you see Gio Selzy rejoining after a stop down on pit road. Again, no tire changes, but you can come down pit road and make adjustments. He and Holly Holland down on pit road, and we've talked about it, folks. This is the car that has won 6 consecutive races here at Kern County. Apparently, Gio just needing a quick chassis adjustment, trying to get him back in contention here. This team knows they can get it done. They are not here to run 9th. That is where Gio was running before this caution flag. Pace truck back down into the infield. Mason Diaz, Taylor Gray. Gray, your leader. Diaz down to the inside for the restart. Green flag back out. Taylor Gray going to get the jump and lead the field down into turns 1 and 2. Down to the bottom side of the racetrack. Side-by-side battle for the lead as we come to the halfway point here at Kern County Raceway. Halfway home here in the Napa Ineos 125. Taylor Gray going to jump back out into the lead over Diaz. There you see Clayton Perkins as 2 Bill McAnally Racing teammates. Gracie Trotter, Jesse Love. Fight side by side for 4th and 5th. Why don't we go ahead and take a quick look at the Richmond Water Heaters midway recap as we see that battle for 4th continuing to rage on between Gracie Trotter and Jesse Love. Been a good race so far. 4 lead changes between Jesse Love, Mason Diaz, and now Taylor Gray. Got a lot of action so far as well. Had a handful of caution flags here in the early going, including lap 1 spin by Jack Wood. Holly Holland also getting turned sideways to bring out the 2nd caution flag of the day. Most recently, a debris caution as our leader, Taylor Gray, coming into contact with a lap car. As we see that battle just outside the top 5. Trevor Huddleston working to the inside of Todd Souza. There you see Kyle Keller in the number 7 car. Good to see Kyle back with us for the 2nd time here in 2020. Jack Wood putting some pressure on Gracie Trotter. Again, this battle just outside the top 5. Wood started 4th here this afternoon. Got turned around on lap number 1, and he's been on a relentless charge back into the top 5 all afternoon long. Now trying to find some racing room to the bottom side in turns 1 and 2. Gracie slamming the door shut there. Wood rolling out of the throttle, and that's going to let Trevor Huddleston get into the mix. Jesse Love, Gracie Trotter, Jack Wood, Trevor Huddleston. Throw a blanket over them as they race off into turns 1 and 2. Gracie now drifting way up the racetrack. Wood can't make it stick right there. But that opens the door for Trevor Huddleston as we see the caution flag coming out one more time. Again, a car stopped to the top side of the racetrack there in turns 3 and 4. This time, Joey East in the number 54 car. Looks like Joey may have had some contact with the outside wall. See if we can get a look to the right side of that car. Definitely has tire issue on the right front corner of that car. So Joey will bring that car around to the attention of his crew down on pit road. Hopefully put a new tire on the right front and get back out onto the racetrack. We saw Joey last time out at the Bull Ring at Las Vegas. Had a great qualifying run, but unfortunately, just like he did earlier in the season, this team had a good car each and every time they joined us. Just can't seem to get that luck to go their way. And again, Lady Luck reaching up and biting young Joey East as he brings that car down on pit road. Taylor Gray continuing to lead over Mason Diaz in second. Blaine Perkins has made his way up into third. Jesse Love and Gracie Trotter rounding out the top 5. Been a good day for Blaine Perkins in that number 9 automobile. Started all the way back in the 10th position.
In the ARCA Menards West Series.
As we talked about, as we see the crew going to work on Joey East's number 54, we talked about what Blaine needs to do if he wants to stay in contention for that ARCA Menards Series West Championship. First and foremost, today he needs to finish in front of Jesse Love. That's the number 1 goal. If he has any hopes of staying in contention when we go to Phoenix on November 7th. Right front tire being installed. There you see another visit down on pit road for Gio Selzy in that number 16 Napa Auto Parts Toyota.
Presented by AHI Management. And we'll finish up.
Holly Holland rejoining the tail of the field as lights out on the pace truck. Field doubled up for the restart. Taylor Gray again going to elect to restart from the outside line. Mason Diaz to his inside. Blaine Perkins and Jesse Love, our 2 championship contenders, back in row number 2. Gracie Trotter, Jack Wood back in row 3. Trevor Huddleston and Todd Souza back in row 4. Kyle Keller, Gio Selzy round out the top 10. As we come into the restart zone, green flag back in the air. We're once again racing here at Kern County Raceway. Jesse Love going to use that top side to his advantage. Take over that 3rd spot. Now he's going to try to slide alongside Mason Diaz in a battle for the 2nd position. Jesse Love started from the General Tire pole, kind of drifted back into the pack a little bit through the mid stages of the race, but now with just 48 laps to go, number 19 car coming back to life. Maybe Jesse Love doing a little tire conservation game here at Kern County Raceway. As that battle for 2nd rages on, side by side, Mason Diaz to the inside, Jesse Love to the outside. Going on right behind our leader, Taylor Gray. Oh, Diaz sideways. He's going to drift up the racetrack just a touch. A little contact there between he and Jesse Love. Love's going to give up a couple of positions. More contact down into turns 1 and 2. Gracie Trotter and Love making a little contact there. Jesse Love finally going to recover now. Drop back into line, but Jesse's going to give up a handful of spots here. Let's take a look at what happened down there between he and Mason Diaz. Diaz to the bottom side of the racetrack. That car gets a little loose, washes up the racetrack. Contact there with Love as pushes him out of the groove. The two Sunrise Ford teammates getting past. And Jesse Love now dropping back into the 5th position. It's going to allow Blaine Perkins in the number 9 car there to jump in front of Jesse. Turn the tide here just a little bit in that battle for the ARCA Menards Series West Championship. Take bonus points into the equation here, folks. Basically, every point is a position on the racetrack. Again, we talked about Jesse picking up the bonus point for the pole, picked up a bonus point for leading laps. But every position on the racetrack is a point. So right now, they're 2 positions apart. That evens out those bonus points. So right now, they'd come out of here with the same amount of points if they finished where they were running. And that would keep Blaine alive in the hunt for the championship as we head to Phoenix, again coming up on November 7th. Two Bob Brancati Racing teammates running nose to tail off of turn 4 down the front stretch. Beautiful looking speed shot right there. Blaine Perkins and Trevor Huddleston all the way around. Big sweeping half mile here at Kern County Raceway. State-of-the-art facility opened way back in, well, not way back, because it's way back if you're my children, but way back in 2013. Cornerstone of what is now the ARCA Menards Series West ever since. Good to be back here after what has been a very topsy-turvy 2020 season. Round number 10 of the 11 that make up the ARCA Menards Series West here in 2020. One more race to go. We talked about it coming up November 7th down at Phoenix Raceway. You can watch that one again live right here on Track Pass and on NBCSN. Battle for 3rd and 4th continuing on here. Nose to tail between the 2 teammates. Blaine Perkins currently holding on to that 3rd position. Trevor Huddleston back in 4th. Been a great year, regardless of whether or not he's able to stay alive in the battle for that championship. Been a great year for Blaine Perkins in the number 9 car. Picked up his first career series victory on the road course, Utah Motorsports Campus earlier in the season. Backed it up with a pair of victories, a weekend sweep up at Douglas County and Evergreen Speedway back in the month of August. This young man really putting himself on the map here in 2018. As we see a car in the wall off of turn number 4, Holly Holland has made contact with the outside wall, and that's going to put us under the caution flag for the 6th time here this afternoon. And Holly doing some pretty significant damage to the right side of that number 50 JBL Audio Napa Filters Toyota, and she is going to come to a stop to the bottom side of the racetrack there in turn 2. Tough break for Holly Holland. Not the day she was looking for here, and certainly not the way she wanted to have it end here at Kern County Raceway. Let's see if we got a look at what happened over there in turn number 4. And there you see, we're going to pick that action up a little late. Wow, Jack Wood doing a great job, either doing a great job or getting very lucky, one or the other. Maybe a little both right there as Holly was coming off of the wall right as Jack was passing the accident scene. That could have been really big right there. Good heads-up move by Jack Wood, but again, tough break for Holly Holland in the number 50. There is a disappointed Bill McAnally Racing crew down there waiting for their driver in their car to make its way back down pit road, but looks like that's not going to happen without the assistance of the wrecker. Safety crew on site. And it looks like Holly taking the steering wheel off. She's going to climb out of that. Heavily damaged number 50. Again, one of the 4 Bill McAnally Racing drivers here this afternoon. Been a pretty up and down season for Holly. She's had a lot of really good runs, some really bad luck. She had what could have been a podium finish going at Las Vegas, and some problems late in the race there took her out of contention for her first top 5 finish. And then, we talked about it, very adventurous night the other night up at All-American. Still manages to pull off a 6th place finish, but a tough break for Holly as she has climbed out of that car. Take a ride down in with the safety crew, and then we'll get her car back down into the infield. But again, that does put us under the caution flag for the 6th time here today. Taylor Gray continuing to lead as we now have reached the 30 lap to go mark. 95 laps in, 30 to go here in the Napa Ineos 125. There you see the damage to Holly Holland's number 50 as it is brought back down onto pit road. Another stop by Gio Scelzi in the number 16 automobile. I think that crew, John Camilleri and the crew, has changed just about everything except the number on that car here today. Not the day they were looking for, coming off of Gio's first career win on Friday night. Again, not giving up the fight here. Gio going to tag on to the back of the field as he should be coming to the restart next time around. Indeed, lights are off on the pace truck. Taylor Gray continuing to lead the way, and again, choosing to restart from the outside. Mason Diaz to the inside. The 2 Sunrise Ford teammates back in row number 2. Blaine Perkins, Trevor Huddleston, Jesse Love, Gracie Trotter, Jack Wood, Kyle Keller. As the green flag is back out, let's see if Mason Diaz can use that bottom side of the racetrack. Not going to make it stick. Again, top side of the racetrack where that momentum is. Taylor Gray with the drive off of turn 2. He's going to jump out to the lead. Gracie Trotter trying to use the momentum of the top side to take over the 4th position. Ooh, she's going to drift way up the racetrack down in turns 1 and 2. Blaine Perkins again to the inside. Side-by-side battle for 4th and 5th. Every one of these restarts has mixed up the field quite a bit. Now Trevor Huddleston closing in on the top 2 as we see Blaine Perkins taking over that 4th position. Gracie Trotter back to 5th. Jesse Love sitting in that 6th position, right behind his teammate there, just outside of your frame. Single file down the backstretch. Jesse Love making his 10th start of the season. Has finished in the top 5 in each and every one of the previous 9. He wants to keep that streak going here this afternoon. Worst finish of the season has been 4th, including Friday night up at All-American Speedway. He does not want to give up that finish, that streak of top 5 finishes. Going to have to work his way past his teammate Gracie Trotter if he's going to make it happen here today. 23 laps to make it happen. Love to the bottom side of the racetrack. Can he stick the nose of that number 19 car down to the inside in turns 3 and 4? Trotter leaving the door open. Again, using the top side of the racetrack to get that momentum off the corner. She is going to hold on to that 5th spot. 4 now. Again, here comes Jesse Love. Little nudge right there through turns 1 and 2. About every time we get to this stage of one of these ARCA Menards Series West races, the intensity level starts to ratchet up just a little bit, even between teammates. Jesse Love not wanting to give up anything on the racetrack as he used the old chrome horn there with teammate Gracie Trotter. Gracie's car washes up the racetrack just a little bit there off of turn 4. Love going to try to stick his nose down to the inside. He's going to get sideways down into turns 1 and 2. Jesse Love sideways. That's going to bring the caution flag out once again here at Kern County. We saw that brewing off of turn 4. Gracie Trotter drifted up the racetrack just a touch. Opened the door. Jesse tried to stick the nose down in there, and they just ran out of racing room down into turn 1. Let's take a look at that action again. Hauling off into turn 1. Jesse Love trying to stick the nose down to the inside. Ran out of racing room down to the bottom side of Gracie Trotter, and that car turns sideways, and Love doing a great job using all of that 65 feet of racing room down there into turn 1, keeping that car out of the outside wall. Wow, that could have had major championship implications here this afternoon. Jesse Love doing a good job keeping that car, if not pointed in the right direction, at least off the outside wall. So great job there by Jesse Love, and he's still going to have about 20 laps to work his way back up through the field in an attempt to keep that top 5 streak going here in 2020. And we saw this happen up at All-American Speedway on Friday night. We've seen it happen a couple of times here. Last 25 laps of these ARCA Menards Series West races, the action is just, the intensity level just ratchets up by a factor of 2 each and every lap, folks. And I think we're going to see that here today as well. Here we see Jesse Love bringing that car down to his crew for a quick once-over. They're going to make a little chassis adjustment there. Try to tighten that thing up. Ooh, crew chief calling for a big adjustment right there. Try to tighten him up here for the dash to the finish. Yeah, every time we throw that bone in front of these rabid dogs here within the last 25 laps, it tends to get a little crazy, and I think we're going to see that here this afternoon as well. It got very crazy up at All-American Speedway the other night. A little beating and banging coming to the white flag between Gio Scelzi and our current leader, Taylor Gray. Gray coming out on the short end of that stick. I know he would like to get a little vengeance here today. Pretty good spot to make that happen. He's been in the lead since lap 55. He's got at least one more restart to go through here, and another 15 laps to settle it here in the Napa Ineos 125. Again, Gray to the outside, Diaz to the inside. Trevor Huddleston, Blaine Perkins back in row 2. Gracie Trotter, Kyle Keller back in row 3. Todd Souza and Jack Wood back in row 4. Pace truck is off. Green flag's back in the air. We've got 15 laps to go here at Kern County. Mason Diaz going to drive it in hard down into turns 1 and 2. Can he stick with Taylor Gray off of 2 down the backstretch, side by side for the lead? Diaz again driving it in deep down into turns 3 and 4. Gray trying to keep him pinched down to the bottom side of the racetrack. A little contact there off of turn 4. Still side by side into 1. Diaz not wanting to give it up. Gray going to use the top side of the racetrack. He's going to take the lead down the backstretch. Front 4 now nose to tail as we come to 13 laps to go. Blaine Perkins again back into the 3rd position. Keeping our eye on Jesse Love. He's now to the bottom side of the racetrack, inside of Jack Wood, as he tries to work his way back to the top 10. Jesse Love back to 8th. 12 laps to go here at Kern County Raceway. Taylor Gray with a 2-car length lead down the backstretch. Front four, single file, nose to tail. We talked about Taylor Gray. 18 starts all across the ARCA Menards Series platform here in 2020, looking for career win number 1. Mason Diaz, a full-time competitor on the ARCA Menards Series East. Also looking for his first career ARCA Menards Series platform victory. Both of these young men now within 10 laps of that first visit to victory lane. Kyle Keller starting to get a little racy at the backside of the top 5. Keller looking to the inside of Gracie Trotter. Does Mason Diaz have anything left for Taylor Gray? Ooh, Trotter drifting up the racetrack. That's going to open the door. Can Kyle Keller fill it? Trotter going to use the momentum. That top side of the racetrack working very well for that young lady in the number 99. She's going to hold on to that 5th spot. Taylor Gray now stretching out 5 car lengths over Mason Diaz in 2nd. Taylor, the younger brother of Tanner Gray, 2018 NHRA Pro Stock champion in the straight line world. He's made the transition into stock car racing at the direction of his younger brother, by the way. Taylor following in his footsteps, both of these young men driving for DGR Crosley Racing. Taylor still not quite young enough to compete for a championship full time. So he has spread his attention all across the ARCA Menards Series and the ARCA Menards Series East and West here in 2020. 5 to go this time around. There you see the battle for 3rd between the 2 Sunrise Ford Racing teammates. Blaine Perkins currently in that 3rd position. Trevor Huddleston back and forth. Gray comfortably in front of the field. 5 car lengths in hand over Mason Diaz in 2nd. Ooh, Huddleston driving it in deep, trying to take over that 3rd spot from his teammate Blaine Perkins. Perkins wanting the race to end right now. If the race ends the way that it sits, he's going to have a pretty nice points pickup on Jesse Love back in the 8th position. 2 to go this time around. 1 mile of racing to settle it here in the Napa Ineos 125. Trevor Huddleston trying to work the back bumper of his teammate Blaine Perkins into turns 3 and 4. There we see leader Taylor Gray looking at the white flag. 1 more lap to go here at Kern County Raceway. 10 car lengths in hand over Mason Diaz in 2nd. Gray cleanly off of turn 2 down the backstretch. Working his way off into turns 3 and 4 for the final time here this afternoon. Looking at the checkered flag, Taylor Gray going to go to victory lane here at Kern County Raceway. Mason Diaz across the stripe. He'll pick up his career best ARCA Menards Series finish in 2nd. Blaine Perkins, Trevor Huddleston, and Gracie Trotter rounding out the top 5. But there is your winner here this afternoon in the Napa Ineos 125, Taylor Gray. He will head down into victory lane. Good way to avenge the frustrations of Friday night up at All-American Speedway. He's going to burn it down and celebrate career win number 1. The burnout the entire length of the front straightaway here at Kern County. Nicely done.
From the start box to the entrance of turn number 1. 7 cautions over 125 laps of racing.
And that, folks, is what it's all about right there. Picking up the checkered flag, burning it down, celebrating. Very happy young man behind the wheel of that number 17 car. Celebrating win number 1. Climbing out of the car. Cockpit filled with smoke after a pretty epic burnout right there. Taylor Gray celebrating. What? Yeah, there you go. Nicely done. Taylor Gray picking up career win number 1 here in the ARCA Menards Series West.
Coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, here at the 31st Bulwark FR.
There's our friend Destiny Orr directing Taylor over into victory lane. Hey, buddy, you still got to drive it down to victory lane, man. It has been a very busy season for Taylor, as I said. Couldn't make his debut, missed the race, the East race at New Smyrna Speedway. Was scheduled to make his debut at 5 Flags, and then we all had to kind of hit the pause button for the coronavirus pandemic. And then when we went back to racing, made his debut up at Toledo Speedway, and he has been a frequent visitor with us, whether it's the ARCA Menards Series, ARCA Menards East, and a couple of times now here out west. Picking up his first victory of the season.
The solid rock carrier number 25 Toyota, Mason Diaz. Great run for you today. First trip to Kern County Raceway for both first and second place finishes. You guys put on a fantastic show. What was it going to take to catch that 17 late in the race? We had the
restarts that we needed. We had the late race cautions. What did you need out of the 25 car?
It was just a little bit snug late center, which you come to towards the end of the race. Might use the tires up a little too much, but 17 was fast today. Boys from out at the east showed them up the west, but it wasn't enough for me to get in the victory lane. But we gave it our best shot.
Great run today, and I know you got a ton of folks to thank on this race car. This 2-day kind of the West Coast swing in California. How was that on your race team, and do you guys look at this race weekend as a success for you?
We can't wait for wins, but this team continued to bust their butts for me, and they worked hard throughout for both weekends, and it was a great show. And I got to thank everyone that Venery Motorsports and Solid Rock Carriers, Prince William Marina, everyone that get me here. Last one with VMS this year, and we'll go forward.
Mason Diaz coming home in second today at the 31st Bulwark FR October Classic here at Kern County Raceway, and making a success.
Return to his hometown racetrack, but great run. Blaine Perkins comes home in third. It looked like at the halfway point there, you might have been struggling a little bit, or were you just kind of saving the equipment for that final 25-30 lap push?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was a long race today, and we knew there was going to have to be some saving. Thankfully, we got a really good initial start. Not qualifying where we deserved to be or wanted to be, but we made a lot of changes, and, man, the guys did a hell of a job. So I just can't thank them enough. I mean, we were a mess in practice, and to come home to P3 with a good points day on the 19 is huge. So now we can take this momentum into Phoenix and fight for a championship there.
Good luck, man. Big race coming up here in a couple of weeks. Good luck in Phoenix, Arizona.
Yep, thank you. All the Bakersfield guys are trying to get some championships that weekend.
Absolutely, we certainly are. Blaine Perkins is going to be right up in the mix with our very own Kevin Harvick. Of course, the championship for the Cup Series is going to be in Phoenix, Arizona.
And we see Taylor Gray making his first appearance in victory lane here, finally, after a celebratory lap with the checkered flag. There he's finally climbing out, and we'll see if we can get a quick word with our winner down in victory lane.
Congratulations, Taylor, on your first win here in the ARCA Menards West Series. Heck of a celebration for you, but you did have some damage on the front of your car here, but you were still fast. So tell us about your run today.
Yeah, Seth brought a really good race car. All my guys at DJR Crosley, David Gillen, Kevin Ray, GM at
DGR just do so much. And we've struggled this year a little bit, but we came out here and we've had a good time. As everybody else knows, I missed the corner on Friday, so didn't miss it this time.
What about for Phoenix? Are you going to be racing with us in Phoenix, or what's next for you?
Yeah, definitely going out to Phoenix, and that'll be it for the year, and come back next year and try it again.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah, made mention of that missed corner going into turn 3 up at All-American on Friday night. I was pretty confident he wasn't going to make that same mistake here this evening, and there he is, adding that victory sticker to the side of that number 17 car. Congratulations, Taylor. Well earned, young man. Nicely done. Picking up win number 1 here in the ARCA Menards Series West. Let's see if we can slide on down and grab another word with our second place finisher, Mason Diaz.
Let's talk about the burnout. We've seen some good ones here. I mean, Kevin Harvick's probably that's the benchmark for burnouts in any kind of stock car racing. And your rival here, dude, on the front straight away, took it from the start box to the entry to turn 1. Did you have to ask the DGR guys for permission? Can I burn this thing down today?
No, I think they wanted me to do as much as I wanted to.
All right, Mason, second place for you today. Talk about what more you needed to catch a 17, because at times you were faster than him.
Just be able to hit our mark consistently, which it was tight late center towards the end there. So if I ran a little bit harder, it was very line sensitive today, and which is part of it. Last end of the race there, and you got to give everything you can. And we just weren't quite there enough to be with the 1700%, but we gave her our best shot today.
Will you be joining us in Phoenix?
I will not be joining you guys in Phoenix for this one, but it was a fun 2 races out here, and we can't reverse some wins, but we're close enough to, and we ran up front. So it is what it is. Taylor did a great job today, and hopefully race against him sometime soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great day for Mason Diaz and that number 25 Venerini Motorsports team again. Full-time competitor out on the East Coast. Had kind of a tough season in the ARCA Menards Series East, so good to see him come out here and have a good solid second-place run here this afternoon. Let's see if we can also grab a word with our third-place finisher, a guy who had a pretty good day in the points today and has kept himself alive as we head over to the season finale in Phoenix. Blaine Perkins.
All right, Blaine, good points day for you, but I heard you on the radio say that your car was a little free. Were you battling some issues out there?
Yeah, I mean, we were definitely a little free on entry as the race went on, but it was a big improvement from practice. So just really happy of all the guys on the 9 team. I mean, they worked their butts off today and this whole month getting this car ready, our new big track car. So really happy with how things went, and really good points day for us. So just can't thank Bob Brancotti, Byron Campbell, Sunrise Ford, 4-Star Fruit. I mean, those people get me to the racetrack, and all the boys on the 9 team. They did a hell of a job this weekend, and I'm looking forward to Phoenix now.
You just mentioned in Phoenix, one more race to go. What are your thoughts going into that final event?
I mean, we did what we had to do. I mean, we cut into the points lead this weekend, so it's definitely not out of hopes yet, and who knows? There's going to be a lot of cars at Phoenix, and anything can happen. So looking forward to getting there and hopefully getting Haas Racing Development into victory lane and maybe a championship a little bit before Kevin Harvick does.
Awesome, thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, the hopes are still alive as he gets a little encouragement there from Series Director Chris Wright. Been an exciting day here at Kern County Raceway. Jesse Love led the field from the pole. There you see a little contact between Taylor Gray and Takuma Koga. A little damage there, but damage or not, Taylor Gray was not going to be denied. Tight racing there with Mason Diaz. Diaz couldn't stop him. Taylor Gray burning it down, celebrated career win number 1. Congratulations to Taylor Gray of the DGR Crosley team. Burning it down in victory lane. Quick thanks to JR Becerra and his crew for all of their hard work here in 2020. Topsy-turvy 2020 season. JR, thank you and your team for all your hard work. Bringing us all of the ARCA Menards Series West racing here live on Track Pass throughout the 2020 season. For everyone here at Track Pass and NBCSN, my name is Charlie Krall. Thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to having you right back here with us. Phoenix Raceway, November 7th, as we settle the championship. Until then, so long, everybody.